Good evening, everybody. So welcome to our lecture week 12. Okay, so today we're gonna cover much more about web design. Okay, so today I'm gonna just follow up my colleague Dastan's presentation about web design. Okay, guys. So basically, web design and it's correlated with responsive design and its accessibility. So today we're gonna learn much more about responsive design, accessibility, and its documentation, okay? And after that, we will try to go through Codecademy quick short courses, which is like oriented on, let's say, practice on measurement, on weight, height, scaling, and media queries, okay? Also, we have like bunch of materials, which is covered like in HTML documentation. And we have in FreeCodeCamp, we have much more information about like web design principles and its applied accessibility, okay? So, okay, first of all, let me just quickly stop my presentation. I will try to push much more information in my, let's say, okay, so 1 second. Okay. Okay, welcome back, guys. So as far as you know, like we know what we already covered and we are familiar with web design. Okay, guys. So basically web design is correlated like with responsiveness of web pages, and it's basically responsive design is a like an approach to web design that aims to make our web page to render well on a variety of devices like mobile phone, smartphone, iPads, tablet devices, computers, laptops, and so on, and any screen size from minimum to maximum display size. Okay, we do this to make in order to find ourselves like satisfied and make all buttons elements usable. And yeah, so basically when someone visits your website, it is possible that they are viewing a phone, tablet, computer, or like even TV monitor, because like you know different screens and displays have like on different devices there are different sizes, and it's important to our website to resize and reorganize their content to best fit screens of all sizes. Okay, so when a website doesn't respond to different screen size, the website may look odd or become and like indecipherable on certain device. And this is usually occurs on smaller screens like phones. And like when a website responds the size of the screen, it's viewed on it and it's called responsive website. And because websites can be displayed on thousands of different screen sizes, they must be able to respond to a change in screen size and adapt the content that user can access it, okay? So basically, in a world where people frequently switch between like growing array of device, responsive designs allows webmasters to create a flexible website, okay? And here, like, we use it through CSS media queries, flexible image. We already covered like Flexbox and fluid proportion based grid and different techniques, okay? So this is like extension of media rule. And using like these elements, these features, we can make we can make our design of our web page responsive and yeah, and accessible across multiple devices, okay? So basically, I would just want to go through three core principles which we want to cover, like fluid grid system, fluid image use, media queries, okay? So what is, let's stop on each one, okay? So basically, fluid grid system, it is like, we know that a grid system is a tool that you can use to help build a solid base that your design can grow and evolve from. And while keeping harmony and continuity between all the elements of web page, it is like mostly based on mathematics and proper proportions between elements from your web page, horizontal, vertical, and in order for your information to stay visually consistent, all elements on the page need to have the same space, okay, between each other. And a large component in the grids are space between individual columns. So these like space are called gutters and are built into a grid system, okay? So, okay, and next one like is fluid image use. We know that like images are not naturally fluid and they should be like default. That means they default to same size and configuration from one device screen to the next. And obvious risk is that your design will appear inconsistent across many devices, since your image can fail to adjust and therefore show up a proportion to other elements. So here we should apply a CSS command like columns max, like curly braces max slash width with 100% to make image shrinks for smaller screens. And we can include many images, so you can use another CSS command. And third core principles, which we can cover, it's media queries. This is like our filters used to detect the browsing device dimensions and make your design appear appropriately. So within this, you probe to determine what size of screen user is viewing your design on. This will alter the size layout to meet certain conditions. And here you can include all this CSS style and frequently used ones like min, max widths, min heights, maximum heights, and based like on screens width, height, orientation, you can currently specify how your design will be rendered for different users who will see your website, okay? So yeah, like we know that a CSS is using media queries, okay? Media queries. And I will just want to make sure that we can go through like different fluid image use. So here we make our width of each element based like on 1000 pixel. So basically it's in percentage viewport, and we can shrink the browser window to just 600 pixels, and design will scale proportionally across its element, okay? And this is like feature is showing us. So media queries, okay guys, media queries. We know that there are filters to use detect the browsing device dimensions and make your design appear appropriately. And with this size, you probe to determine what size of screen is viewing your design on. And this will alter to the site layout to meet certain conditions. And here, like we can break all our example like in .media, which will begin a media query rule and instructs your compiler on how to parse all the website rule on the screen, okay, guys, maximum width and CSS rules, okay? So, yeah. Then we can go through accessibility, okay? So basically, what is accessibility? It is like the site content is available and its functionality can be operated by literally anyone. Broadly speaking, when we cite like site accessible, we mean that the site's content is available and functionally can be operated. As developers, it's easy to assume that all users can see and use a keyboard, mouse, or touchscreen and can interact with your page content the same way you do. And this can lead to an experience that works well for some people, but create issues that range from simple annoyance to showstoppers or for others. And accessibility then refers to experience of users who might be outside our range, okay? And specifically, it concerns users who are like experiencing some type of impairment or disability, and bear in mind that experience might be non-physical or temporary. Okay, as you will learn more, you'll find that addressing issues in this broader and more general sense, almost always to improve user experience for everyone. And what is like web accessibility barriers, guys? So simply put, like anything that restricts access to web content, it's a accessibility barrier. Failing to design for accessibility excludes many, denying access to goods, service, or information. Okay, 5 like type of categories for disabilities can affect access of the web, like auditory, like when do you hear, motorical, okay, speech, visual, and cognitive. And understanding the limitations of each category help define accessibility requirements. And these requirements can also be beneficial for everyone else, okay? So for example, if you are holding a crying baby in one hand and you need to have a video consultation with a pediatrician on your insurance app, or you're making a pie crust, have flour in your hands and your doorbell rings. As we age, we all need a little like more accessibility in our life. Even the healthiest of us will see some of our capabilities decline: vision, hearing, dexterity, and so on. And if you're interested to make all this like principle, you should learn about like impact of accessibility and various benefits. And here like we can watch the video after that, okay? So basically I here like provide documentation for that, a set of guidelines, okay, set of guidelines that developers need to follow to make their content accessible to a wider range of people with and without disabilities. They cover a range of aspects and should be addressed when we are building accessibility. So basically, it's built on 4 principles, which is called POR, okay? Yeah, perceivable, operable, understandable, and robust. Perceivable means like users must receive information and UI components in a way that can perceive, like such as providing text alternatives for graphical and other content with no text, okay? And operable means UI components, like user interface, I will call furthermore UI, and must be navigation operable. An example of this is like all functionality available from keyboard. Understandable, the information on the user interface must be understandable. So user should be able to figure out how to use interface easily, think ease of setting language, and clear focus on each page and navigation consistency. And robust, content must be robust enough so a wide variety of user agents, including assistive technology, can interpret it, okay? So here I will leave for you documentation. And right now I just want to go quickly through some exercise on our platform, okay, guys? So basically we'll cover through relative measurements. Any like, yeah, so I covered much more about it. I told like different designs, size, pose a problem from developers, and like the answer for all our problems is responsive web designs, okay? So here like we should reorganize and resize, you see, like we should reorganize the content of our website and the size of screen website is being viewed on, okay? Here we will go through HTML content, we will relate it to other content on website, and we will use like pixels, we will fix all of them, and yeah, and we'll try to build relative measurements instead, okay? So let's go through that. So we have like a bunch of code, and here like just to be sure that we'll have, yeah, okay. Well, so what does like EM? Okay, so let us try to Google what does mean like EM and CSS, okay? So basically we know like pixel, EM, RAM, all the stuff, okay? So basically, here, if you go through EM, you can find like there are a lot of like relative lengths, and here EM is relative to the font size element, okay? So relative lengths specify you a length relative to something properties covered in CSS, and here like different EM, EX, CH, okay? All other like lengths that you will try encounter if you will be web designer, okay? And historically, EM was like represented with capital letter M in your typeface and size, okay? So here just we'll go through CSS, and let's like look like on heading with font size to EM splash selections, like font size 18 pixel and all the stuff, okay? And style CSS in banner H1, okay? So we will look like in banner H1, okay? We'll try to make the font size, okay? 1 point. Okay, so how it was like, let me just quickly check it. What happened to our banner H1? Okay, so where is our banner H1? Okay, so we have a look on H1 banners travel block. Okay, so here I will just try to fix it. Okay, I will look like on banner. Okay, and I will set the font size to 1 point em. Okay, guys, I set it. Next, I should make a H2 element Saturday market. Okay, you see, it became bigger, relative. Okay, so right now, I will just quickly go through Saturday market, okay? Post H2, I will try to find post H2, so where it is. Okay, here I found it out, like post H2, and I will put, okay, so I fix it. So now it become like 1.78, okay, so font size. So did you give the font size of so it's a little bit loading right now. Okay, cool. So right now I increased my length relative, and here I just want to make sure that I will put it. So it became 1.25. And right now I should set the font size in the footer, okay? So here I have a footer, and here I should build like cool. Right now it's perfect. Okay, guys. So let it go like next. So second relative unit of measurement is called rem. Okay, so root element. Okay, so basically root, it acts as similar, like, but instead of checking parent elements, we check root element. Okay, so here I will just quickly go through our rule. Okay, here we have like different, it's written same as em but with root. Okay, and what does like a relative unit mean? So basically, if you have font size 20 pixel and you put like 2 rm, so it will be like 40 pixels. Okay, guys. In style CSS, we'll add new rule 3. Okay, I will add new rule, and So how it look like? Okay. Okay, cool. Next, we will try to update our font size. Okay. How we can do this? I will go to banner H1, okay, and I will try to put a banner H1 size, okay. And I will try to fix, okay, guys, you see, like, it became much more bigger, okay. So if I had like 16 pixels, right now it became like about 50 pixels, okay, guys, it's became 50 pixels banners travel block. Then I will go to post H2. I will try to find where it is, and I should put it like my all the stuff should become another one. It will increase, okay? So yeah, as far as we see, it increased, and I will try to fix all the stuff like. And right now, January 70th will a little bit became shrink, okay, smaller. Yeah, indeed, it became smaller. And then I will try to set the footer size. Where is the footer size? Path travels block. I will try to make it, let's say, sorry, it should be relative EM. Okay, so it's increased. Let me just check quickly why it doesn't like, yeah, right now it's much more. Cool. And what we can do with percentage and widths, okay, guys? So basically, it's also interesting stuff. Why? Because we should be able to understand how to use percentage with sim or like sizebox model values. And here we are covering width, height, padding, borders, margins, okay? Okay, so let us continue. And here we have what we want to just fix all this like percentage. Here we have in main property height of 300 pixels, width of 500 pixels, and we want to make our subsection relative to percentage, guys, okay? So quickly we'll do while we solving like Codecademy or other stuff to practice with your code, okay, to be able to implement all our knowledge in our lecture, okay? So here we have a block, and here we want to set a width, okay? You see, we set all the widths, okay, and want to cover like, so it's basically 86%, okay? And right now, I just want to resize again, okay? And here I will go to blog post and make it 25%, okay? So how can I do this? And next, I will send an image container width of 100. Okay, you see it became 85% of this shit. Okay, so I just want to make it image controller. And yeah, let's scroll it and see like image container. Okay, guys, what's happening with this? Yeah, we will fix it. So basically it became like a little bit for why? Because we set all these widths and next we should fix on our padding margin to make it much more beautiful. Okay, so how we can do all this stuff? And basically it's very interesting to know why, because we should be able to do it on ourselves. Okay, so before we like do all this element, I just want to make sure that you understand media queries. Okay, just for 1 second for today's lecture. Okay, let's practice our quiz. Okay, I will just stop by all these elements and I just want to make sure we understand all this stuff. Okay, so what EM represents which of the following? Okay, please answers here like A, B, C, D, or 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, anyone? All this question you will be able to see. Okay, cool, Sabrajan, you're a cool guy. Next one, what is needed to change the default font size of the root element? Okay, nice. So what is the difference between EM and RAM? Okay. I think I should add this question to our canvas for today's summary. When percentage are used to size padding and width, dimensions are set relative to which of the following? Okay, this is a good question, right? Splash section of P, how many pixels? Okay, 1 point of RAM. RAM, like it's just like, oh no, it's becoming cool. So this is a nice question. So, okay, just let's stop here. Okay, we'll have like 5-minute break and we'll begin coming back to the lecture. Okay,
У меня
so
просто урок идет.
sorry. Что там?
Сейчас я этот наушник отдам.
Okay, sorry guys, if you're like somewhere outside or okay, please be sure that you're on lesson. Okay, so can we should we turn our cameras or we'll continue? Okay, I will just continue our lecture. So we had a 5-minute break. Okay, so I will quickly go through all these like exercises. Okay, I just want to make sure that we will understand all this rule set property, and let's go like with percentage margin. For someone who doesn't know, okay, all the stuff, I will just quickly send you link. Okay, I know that like at least Sabrzan hears me. Sabrzan, can you share this link to your like somewhere in WhatsApp or somewhere else? Okay, and we will go through like exercise with adding height, like adjusting height relative to the roots element font size. Okay, cool. And style CSC will have a height property and assign. Here we have a height property. We should find it. Okay. So where it is, like where we should add all this height property. Cool. So I hope we should add it somewhere else. Okay. Oh, sorry. Here I will just quickly go through height. So what happened with that? You see, guys, banner's height became larger. Okay, why? Because we said 46 times relative larger. Okay, and we'll go through blog post. Okay, and we will make top margin. Okay, to 18.4. Okay, so what does like top margin means, guys? Okay, so let's look for margin. If you don't know, let's try to do it. If you don't know like where it is, so it's like quickly cool for us. Okay, yeah, Arjan, you can also send this link. It's like cheat sheet for you that you can use for upcoming quizzes. Okay, so here we will set our like margin. Okay, so what happened with that? Okay, guys. Margin top. So what does like, oh, sorry, I forget to add percentage. Okay, right now top margin became like 1%, and I will try to add blog post. Okay, margin of. So right now it became, but I will make it 7.5. Okay, guys. So I'm adding all the stuff 7.5. And let's set the bottom margin, okay, in image to 100 to 20%. Okay, so bottom margin, where is the bottom margin, guys? Where is bottom margin? Oh God, it's so difficult to find image. Okay, I'm googling here. Okay, right now it became 20%. Here as well. Okay, cool, nice. So this is like what we did, and against all these like relative measurements, we can also provide like width minimum and ensuring maximum width for our element. Okay, so we covered all this stuff in our flexbox model, and here we just should create a CSS rule with like all these elements. Okay, so it's basically doable, like, yeah. So just take it snippet of code and put it somewhere behind that. Okay, cool. Remember guys that I don't have here like solutions. And for me it's also difficult to know all these answers to questions. Okay, and if we want to resize all this browser again, we should be able to make our like minimum and maximum height again like 200 pixels. Okay guys, so where it is, like what happening. Okay, so right now I have all the stuff, and paragraph must be like 200 pixels. Okay, minimum height and width. Okay, so whenever I do, I should stretch it out. Okay guys, I'm stretching it out. Okay, so it's not like stretch you like thinking yoga, so it's a little bit better. Okay, so you see we had problems with that. So why it happened? Okay, and here we should like it's not edgeable. Why? Because here we fixed like 200 pixels, and yeah, and basically it's not ideal. Why? Because we should be able to use relative measurement again for that. Okay, so I will just quickly see. Okay, so next one, we learn to scale our text, images, all the stuff. And right now we should be able to play and resize using learned property or media, like videos, images, and all the stuff. Okay, so it's the same. We just create a container property with height, width, and overflow, like or displays different features. Okay, so basically in our like this exercise, we should be able to find we should find block images, and we should set overflow property to hidden. Okay, so basically here we have like width of 80%, and look like what happened with that. So okay, I think Code Academy is loading bad. Why? Because maybe just a simple image container. Okay. Style CSC, we should image find a container and set its maximum width to 100%. Okay, so I will try to find image container mg, and I will set max width, okay, 100%. Sorry, should not be equal. Okay, so our image becoming perfect. Okay, so a little bit we have problems with our text. Okay, we'll see it next. And if it's became 100%, so we are asked to do like it set height to auto. Okay, so also important step for you, which you might cover in your WordPress or Tilda, it's your background image. Okay, we can also make scaling responsibly using CSS properties with different like properties for background image. Okay, position, size, repetition. Okay, and here we just should make our like we should set our background size in banner. Okay, I will just put it here. Okay, guys. To cover. Okay, so what does like this declaration means, guys? So okay, so okay, so basically here we have explanation what does like background science means, and here like cover. Okay, so we'll try to find cover. Okay, so you can make your covering within like saving all proportions of your image. Okay, so quick like let's say so okay, I will stop here. Why? Because just